Hello everyone. So in this tutorial we are going to learn about creating labels in iOS applications. We are going to create the labels without using storyboards, which basically means we are going to programmatically code them using the Swift programming language. So let's create a new Xcode project, and it will be a single view application, and let's name this sample application. The language will be Swift and the devices will be universal because we want to create apps for both iPhone and iPad. And hit next, and let's save the project in my desktop. You can choose any simulator that you want. I like to work with iPhone 7, so I am choosing iPhone 7 in my simulator. So the first thing we always want to do whenever we are creating our apps without using storyboards is that if we click this sample application at the top or the name of the application, then in the deployment info you will see that the third number is main interface and it is showing the file main. So whenever we are building apps without storyboards, we need to clear this because we don't need any storyboards in our file. Okay, so this was the first step in which we have to remove the main.storyboard file in the deployment info. And after that, the second step is we need to go into the app delegate file, and inside this file you will find a function which is called did finish launching with options. This function is actually called whenever your app is launched. Okay, so in this function we will have to create the window manually because we are not using storyboards. So for that we will do window equal to, it will be a type of UI window, and it will be taking a method which will be called frame, and in frame we will pass UI screen dot main dot bounds. So this basically means that the window will take the whole size of the iPhone. Okay, and after that we have to make the window visible, so we can do it like this: window dot make key and visible. Okay, so far we have successfully created a window for our iOS application. Now we need to set the root view controller, which basically means that we want to specify the view controller which will be launched whenever our application is running. So for that we have to do window.root_view_controller, and then we can specify the name of the controller. In this case you can see that our file is view controller, so we will simply do view controller. Okay, now if we try to run this app, you will notice that we will see a view controller with the background color of black, because whenever we create our apps without using storyboards, the default color which view controller gets is the black color. So let's wait till the simulator is starting up. Till the simulator is starting up, let me show you one more thing. There are two different ways to select a root view controller. This was the first one, and the second one is window.rootViewController equal to UI navigation controller, and in this we will select a method which is called rootViewController, and we can simply pass view controller here. I will show you the difference in a bit, but first let's see. You will notice that I think the simulator is not okay, it is starting. You can see that a black screen is appearing. Okay, so this was due to the first method. So let's comment the first method and run the application with the second method, and you will automatically see the difference between both of them. So you can see that in the previous method the whole window was black, but in this you can see that there is a navigation bar at the top, and then at the bottom it is the whole view controller which is black in color. So basically if you want a navigation controller at the top, then you have to use this second method, and if you don't want a navigation controller at the top, then you can use the first method. Okay, so basically this was how you can create a window and a root view controller manually without using storyboards. So let's write some more code and let's create our label. So we will go into the viewcontroller.swift file and let's remove the code that we don't want. Okay, so at the top let's create a label. We can simply do this by saying let, and it will be a name label, and it will be equal to a UILabel. Okay, and parenthesis. Okay, this is simple. And then in the view did load we will create a function called setup views. Okay, and let's create this function down here. Okay, so you all know that the view did load will automatically run the first time our view controller is launched. So inside this we have called the function setup views, so the setup views will also be automatically called. So now we need to specify some more properties to our name label. So the first thing is we need to add the name label to our main view. So we can simply do this by saying view dot add subview, and inside this we can pass our label, which is the name label. Okay, and then we can do name label dot translate auto resizing mask into constraints, and let's set this to false. So we have to set this equal to false because we will manually give constraints to our label. Okay, and after that we can simply do name label dot text, and we can specify any text that you want. So I am just giving my name. Okay, so now you can do name label dot background color and equal to UI color dot, you can give any color that you want. I am giving black. And suppose that you want to change the text color, then you can simply do name label dot text color, and you can specify the color using UI color dot white. Okay, so we have set the text background color and the text color, and now what we need to do is we need to add some constraints to our label so that it can be seen inside our application. So for that we will do name label dot, and we are going to do left anchor dot constraint, and we will use this method, which is the third method, and we are going to do view dot left anchor, and we are going to give a constant value of 32, and then we are going to make this active. So what we are doing is we are taking the name label and we are specifying the left anchor, which basically means the left constraint. So we are saying that the left constraint of the name label should be equal to the left constraint of the view and a constant of 32, which basically means there will be a gap of 32 on the left side, and then we have to make this active so that our constraints can work. And similarly we will give the top anchor or the top constraints by doing top anchor dot constraint, and we are going to use the same method, and we will do view dot top anchor, and then we are going to give it a constant value of 100, and then we are going to make it active. So we have successfully given the left anchor and the top anchor. Now we need to give the height and the width. So we will do name label dot height anchor dot constraint, and we are going to use this method which only takes a constant value. So let's give it a constant height of 30 and then let's make it active. And after that we need to give the width, so we can simply do, instead of width I think we should specify the right anchor. So we'll do name label dot right anchor dot constraint, and we will do view dot right anchor, and then we are going to use a constant value of -32 because this time we are going negative in the constraints. So, and let's make this true. So we are done this with this label, so let's run this app and see whether we are getting the label correctly placed in our application or not. Okay, so you can see that the label is occurring, but you cannot see the background color because the background color of the view controller is same as the background color of the label. So let's change this. So in the view did load, before calling the setup views function, we can simply do view dot background color equal to UI color dot white color. So let's run this again, and now you will notice that the background color will be white, and then at the top it will have a label which has a background color of black. Okay, so you can see that the label is coming up nicely. Now let's make some modifications to this label. So I want the text to be in the center, and also I want the corners to be rounded. So let's get back into our view controller file, and here we can simply do name label dot, I think we should do text alignment. Okay, and it should be equal to dot center because we want to align it in the center. And then we, for rounded corners, we have to do name label dot layer dot masks to bounds, and we have to set this equal to true. And then we have to do name label dot layer dot corner radius, and let's make this equal to 3.0. Let's run this app again, and you will notice that the corners will be rounded automatically, and the text will automatically appear in the center of the label. So if you zoom the app, you will notice that the corners are rounded, but you cannot clearly see it. So let's make them more rounded, and then it will be easy to notice. So let's make this 10 for now, and you will now notice that the corners will be rounded. Okay, so now you can easily see that the text is appearing in the center and the corners are rounded. So basically this is how you create a label manually without using storyboards in iOS applications. So I think we are done with this video. I will see you in the next one with some new content. Thank you for watching this video.